And we're back. Round 4. 2 undefeated players here at Guardian Games in Portland, Oregon. Modern Mondays. Philip is back in the driver's seat on You Are Murktide. And we have James playing a deck close to my heart, playing Humans.
What else do we have?
Even more exciting, our Gremlins exterminator, Ian, has shown up.
He's back.
In the booth, fixed our technology,
Final round.
gotten rid of the Gremlins.
Did nothing.
But here we are, and I think maybe we are just resolving mulligans. But Humans, Ian and I were just saying, has a very big showing at Guardian, and does well every week.
Yeah, it's not something you see in the online meta at all, hardly, and it's always here. Like, there are a couple players that have really been bringing it with Humans.
Dedicated.
Yeah, I feel like when you know what, like, Humans has a really rough time with a card like Fury, but also there's, like, so much spice that you can put in your deck, or if you know your bad matchups for your local meta, you can just put cards geared towards beating that in your main deck, and with, like, recruiter effects, you can go get your silver bullets in, like, game 1 and really get your local game store opponents.
You're just meddling mage, fingers crossed.
Yeah, Meddling Mage blind, just hope you're picking the right thing.
Fury.
Yeah. I haven't seen the new Cavern of Souls land, Secluded Courtyard, do much work in Humans, but it could. It's an option.
Yeah, turn 1 Hierarch. Yeah, I feel like Humans versus Murktide is pretty 50-50, but really, like, having an Aether Vial just makes a huge difference with like your win rate, specifically against a deck like Murktide that has like Aether Vial plus Cavern.
I mean, any bounce effect versus Murktide, right? It's pretty good. Thalia also seems very good. Maybe I should be playing Humans.
Yeah, you did. You were a big.
I played Humans.
Fan. I mean, you're more of a Merfolk fan.
It's true. That's true. So James has a Mantis Rider in his hand and another Horizon Canopy. We know we can't do that. I think that I would have just casted the Aether Vial and not the Lieutenant. I feel like you could have gotten more value out of the Lieutenant later. And making Thalia a 3/2 doesn't really do much.
James had this soul read knowing that Philip had a Spell Pierce and did not cast the Aether Vial.
Oh, that would have been a blowout. You are correct.
I think Philip is deciding whether we're going to dash a Ragavan to try to act as a removal spell because we're sitting on a bunch of counter spells and not removal right now.
What's unfortunate for James is he can't cast that Mantis Rider. He needs another land here.
I think I'm in for that. If I'm Philip, I'm definitely dashing the Ragavan and hoping that James trades.
As someone that plays a lot of Ragavans, I will say opponents a lot of times like, oh man, turn 1 Ragavan, and they'll play a creature. I'm attacking into that creature 75 to 80% of the time, just hoping that they block because I don't have a removal spell and would rather them like lose their card than get a token.
Yeah, totally.
Especially
This is
on
what-
a board like this.
People just shouldn't be afraid of Ragavan. Just let the Ragavan hit you. Like, what is it going to flip over? It flips over something you can't cast. Like, what, an Aether Vial? You can take the Aether Vial to 7 to put your Murktide into play? Like,
I guess Champion is probably the worst thing that Ragavan could flip over, but even then it's not that bad.
double checking Imperial Recruiter. It is any creature with power equal to 1, right?
No, 2 or less.
2 or less? There you go.
Yeah.
That's why we double check it.
It's the Ranger Captain is the
oh, yes.
1 mana 1.
Yeah.
And Recruiter of the Guard is the opposite as far as power and toughness.
Imperial Recruiter done by one of my favorite Magic artists, Zach Stella.
Which
Brought
art?
us True Name Nemesis
Which art's your favorite, Vinny?
of Zach Stella's.
Okay, I
Of the Imperial Recruiter.
feel
arts.
like this is going to get a bolt in response. Because that'll be double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the new one a lot.
Eh?
Oh, no, that one done by Howard Leone is also very good. It's fun that you can play Death Shadow, which is also done by the same artist. You could potentially play those two in the same deck. Yeah, I like that guy. He looks so excited. He's just so inviting. So excited.
Join the army.
Yeah, I'm ready to go with him. I'll fight whatever battle he's taking me to. 2-mana iteration. We talked about this before. Not always a great sign.
We got instant creature, land, and sorcery.
Do you now do you have that same mentality that Philip had with the Regavan with your Imperial Recruiter? Imperial Recruiter's a
Right
2/2?
now it's a 3/3 because it had a Thalia's trigger.
No,
Oh.
it starts as a 1/1.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's a
currently
2/2,
a
right.
2/2.
Oh, never mind. Can't even attack with it.
Yeah.
Just a little
But-
ballerina.
We can start getting that Mantis Rider action. Oh yeah.
Oh, we're sending it with the team.
What?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, because like Philip has to make a choice right now of like if Philip doesn't have a removal spell, which it doesn't seem like he does, like to get rid of the Thalias.
Did you see James's little like hover the finger over Aether Vial while Philip was deciding blocks? I love it. I love that.
Hey, Philip needed to take damage there, right?
Yeah, that was 4 points of damage, so Philip should be at 5.
Right? Should I do it?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah, you can do it. Yeah, sure. I think Philip is still spent on after playing against 4-color pile and winning with his opponent's Ren and 6 into Fairy. James just needs humans, right? At this point, like almost anything is good.
Yep.
Oh,
This
it feels
is
like a meddling mage to me. I don't know, but
Ooh.
how?
Trigger.
Well, it comes into play without you just get to say the thing.
So I know, but you
Yeah.
get the lieutenant trigger. So do you resolve? Do you say the thing and then the trigger resolves?
Yeah.
Then the trigger goes on the stack,
Oh, really? It's not even on the stack until you've said the thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
and as an interest play.
That's exciting. Well,
Oh,
James didn't say opt. I mean,
consider. Yeah. He also did not
Could've
say
said
opt.
opt.
Yeah.
So that's like when you know you haven't played Modern in like 2 years.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I
Just
feel like
a
you
slip
could
of the tongue.
take this humans deck from 2 years ago and still probably be fine and win an F&M or something. Just like there's enough good cards in there.
Oh, someone just got 11th in the challenge with humans. All right. I mean, it does good things and interacts in a good way. And if you can make Fury decisions hard, I think that it is a good deck. The card that has been blowing me out against the other humans player that plays here is Adeline, which is like a star 4-butt that makes a human token every time you attack.
With one for each opponent you have tapped and attacking. Yeah.
Yeah, that card. I can answer everything in the deck, but that card just is the bane of me.
Yeah, it has Vigilance too, which is
Yep.
X4 is a great blocker.
Yeah. Plus, like the tokens triggering on Champion and Thalia are like super busted. Yeah, that card does work in the deck way more than I thought it would. Like enough that I think deck should probably be playing multiple copies of it, even though it's legendary.
So we haven't done this yet in this stream. We haven't shouted out for we do this stream every Mondays here at Guardian Games from Portland, Oregon, and we're all volunteering our time here doing this. So following us, super nice. Feel like throwing some of Jeff Bezos money our way and want to subscribe. That also helps us out a lot. Trying to build up some tech stuff here to be able to keep bringing you some high quality streams with fewer gremlins hanging out. But also just enjoy it when people hang out and are engaged in chat because that's always fun. You can watch rewatch edited videos of the matches usually the next week on our YouTube channel, and then we leave the VOD up on Twitch for a while if you want to go back and catch something you missed.
Thanks, Curse Catcher, for the subscription.
You're welcome. You could thank Bezos. That's his money. I think that Philip brings in Blood Moon again, right? You gotta.
And Bevons, thank you as well for the subscription. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Blood Moon can be really good against humans, especially when if they don't have the Aether Vial. It's even fine slowing them down when they have Vial. Humans is going to have like Sanctifier in back, which is a rough card for Murktide to deal with. So I think also if you're Murktide, you probably want to bring in some engineered explosives to deal with like pro-red creatures, because there's usually some amount of those that are going to be coming in.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Do you bring in dress downs as well if you're on the Murktide side? Did you guys say that already?
No. Do I bring in Dress Down?
I think I would.
I think
it does
so.
Turn off Sanctifier, which can be helpful to get it off the board.
Yeah, we might just buy you some time too against something weird, like prevent some counters maybe on a turn where things are getting big.
It's a tricksy thing you can do.
Yeah, at the worst, it will draw a card.
Yeah, so I'm boarding out if I'm Murktide, like for all 4 counter spells, if 2 spell pierces, leaving in the charms, because one tricksy thing is being able to steal a 1-drop, especially if it has a ton of counters on it.
Yeah, big champion.
Yeah, when they go in on the champion and they're like, I think I will then take that at the beginning of combat. So, but yeah, counter spell pierces out. So I think dress downs, explosives, and
Blood Moon.
Blood Moon, if it's not in the main deck, and probably I board in a Jace for some additional card advantage because you're playing against a deck that doesn't have Bolt.
Mm-hmm. That's very fair. Looks like James kept a hand with Thalia, which is pretty good.
And Ragavan on the play is really good against a deck that doesn't play targeted removal.
Yep. Yeah, the best thing that James could possibly present now is a champion, right? That could kill the Ragavan. Ooh, there's the Sanctifier Invec in hand, which is rough.
All right, well, Philip better get a good hit off this Ragavan.
Hit a meddling mage and name Sanctifier.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah, I think James doesn't have another land, so. See, who cares? Go ahead, cast the Aether Vial.
I think he's got a Horizon Canopy in hand at this point.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to see that Sanctifier come down next turn.
I think maybe Philip is trying to decide if he wants to bolt the Hierarch, maybe? Or if he wants to save the bolt for a bigger threat.
I feel like when your opponent leads with Hierarch and not Aether Vial, you have the Ragavan, you definitely want to bolt the Hierarch.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh!
Or stealing it.
Sure.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah. Weird.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, anytime you can turn your treasure into a permanent mana, it's usually pretty good.
It feels a little less good now. Because even with that Ragavan getting exalted, it's still brick-walled currently.
It kind of help with casting your Murktide. And the one thing that Sanctifier is so confusing that is it's red cards that would go to the graveyard, not from the battlefield. So if like Ragavan dies, it still goes to the graveyard, but if it's
what?
That
discarded,
is not true.
No, I don't think that's right.
The ruling it is the worst worded card in all of Magic, but I guarantee you, if you look at the gather, at a different store that I played at for several months, the judge also ruled that way, but it is not that. The comma is very poorly placed in.
okay,
that.
we're gonna bring it up.
Yep. a permanent, a spell, or a card not on the battlefield.
Oh, interesting. So card not on the battlefield is its own contained
One item.
Oh,
All
That
they had
is
to do.
terrible.
that's such bad wording.
All they had to do was word it differently. So like, I think like rules of writing is like your last thing in a chain of things should always be the longest, which is probably why it ended up there. But
Sure.
yeah, it is very confusing. I have like more than once had an opponent be upset about it and like have to call a judge and have them explain it.
Well,
But,
I am
yeah.
glad that you were here, Vinny, to correct that mistake.
I mean, 4 months I had a judge tell me the opposite, and then like they updated the Gatherer, and there's a part about it going like if it and a permanent dies at the same time, they both get exiled, or whatever the Gatherer ruling is. But it would only work if it worked that way. Permanents are only ever on the battlefield, so that's why it's worded.
That's so weird.
It's really weird, very poorly written. Looks like Meddling Mage got count.
It got zapped with the heat because it probably
Okay.
named Lightning Bolt, so which is like the correct play.
Yeah. Ooh, Philip can play a Murktide though.
It's so simple in theory because really you just look at it and you're like, all black or red cards are just not going to be in the graveyard. They're just exiled. And it's like if you could just say that, but then you have to write it on the card, which is almost what makes it more confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's anytime a black or red card would go to the graveyard, exile it instead.
And it gets rid of them when it enters, unless of course it's like dressed down.
Yeah.
I think you want to just play this Murktide. It's
I
going to
would.
get to attack in the air. It's going to get +1, so you're going to be swinging for 5.
Maybe Philip is afraid of trying to remove his own delirium. Like he doesn't have delirium yet, but like maybe
It's
That's a
pretty hard to
consideration.
get delirium with the Sanctifier out.
Yeah, you
right?
basically
Oh, yeah, I
you
guess that's
basically need a creature, an artifact, and then like so you're going to need like one of your blue instants, which are probably post board going to be the charm and then consider, and maybe the deck plays like a 1-up Serum Vision. We're casting it.
oh,
All
just
right.
attack with the Ragavan.
Why did the
This is how you get delirium. You put the Ragavan in your graveyard.
So did Dress Down come in? This is, I guess, what we're discussing. Whether Dress Down came in before the Meddling Mage entered. Because if that's the case, then the mage never gets to name a card,
Oh, yeah.
right? So it's just a blank 2/2.
Yep.
But we still don't like blank 2/2s when we're on Philip's side, so off with you.
Well, Ragavan gets to attack. Here we go.
And Ragavan gets to swing, Murktide Regent gets to be big.
that was the turn of events right there.
Yeah. Exile that top card.
Oh, it's
Champion
the
of the
champion.
match.
I'd play it.
I'd play it.
That's how you
I think if you
flip
can
the
go
script.
go wide versus the humans deck, you're fine.
You can get a trigger on your hierarch.
You get a trigger on the next card you play.
I mean, you don't even have to.
I guess we played 2 heats already. Maybe we're less concerned about that.
Can still play the champion. The dream isn't dead.
I think what Philip unfortunately doesn't realize is there is a Reflector Mage in James's hand.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't play the champion. Especially when your opponent doesn't have a board and you have more permanents, but maybe there is a good card like Charm in hand.
Oh, that could be.
But
Wait, there was a Charm in hand.
yeah,
We
there's-
didn't counter that?
There's a cavern out there, so
Oh, fiddlesticks.
I'm kind of into chaining considers if we've got a Murktide in hand, but maybe
It's not coming down this turn.
yeah.
Wow, just has a removal piece every time.
I mean, the thing is, James has 2 pain lands in play right now. And that's not nothing at this point. Like, those have dealt probably close to 6 damage, 5 to 6 damage this game. And they're going to get cut off, like, very, very soon unless James can start blocking Ragavan.
Well, Mantis Rider blocks Ragged Man pretty well.
It still trades currently, and then James then probably has to Reflector Mage again after that. So James is going to end up in bolt range.
Yep.
At some point.
Or just
Right, it's going to be right here because
Yep.
he has to Reflector Mage the Murktide that's going to come down this turn, right?
And like
Right.
we'll only be able to cast a limited amount of spells for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you do not want to get into these protracted games as humans with the multiple pain lands.
Yeah, I think whoever mentioned that humans felt very behind on tempo after the Hierarch steal. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, just slipped away.
The dress down, I mean,
Dress down.
getting
Dress
rid
down
of
is
the
good.
Sanctifier, that one turn cycle was just such a blowout.
And you could see how much that Sanctifier was holding up the momentum of Philip's deck, because as soon as it was gone, it just steamrolled like in one turn.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. I would just make a big old Murktide. Well, I guess you could just make it a 5.
And we're swinging with that Hierarch. We better.
No, I think we attacked already. We attacked
we
and
did?
killed the Mantis Rider.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So James forced into playing the Reflector Mage this next turn, going to 3.
Wow, missing the 4th land too is just killing James. He can't ever 2-spell. He's playing one card a turn versus a deck that is drawing 3 cards a turn and has access to 8 mana.
Did he take 1 extra damage there? I mean, it may not end up mattering, but I thought he was at 5 and should have gone to 3
Yeah, I think
there.
he should go to 3. I mean, Phil. I mean, we've seen 2 lightning bolts too. So like, there are lightning bolts left in the deck.
Bill's flush with mana here. Even after playing the Darcy, 5 mana available.
Yeah, that's gross.
Grip full of cards. There's not really any rush too if you're on Phil's side.
Yeah, James just pinging himself to death, knowing how badly that hurts. On to game 3. Finally, I think this is the only round that we've actually. No, maybe we had one other round where we saw 3 games.
I feel like we've seen a lot of Magic.
Well, yeah, we've seen an entire round every single round.
Yeah, we've gone
2
to
time,
time.
2 turns.
We've gone past an hour. We've spent probably close to 4.5 hours watching Magic. In fact, I should probably go check the battery.
It's already died twice this stream.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Interestingly, I think Humans brought in Chalice. That was the last draw that James drew, which I like. I'm all about it. I'm all about Chalice in decks with Cavern of Souls and Aether Vial. Like, you're great.
Okay.
Chalice on 1
It
versus
is
Murktide
good.
is much more detrimental
very good.
than you not being able to cast Aether Vial on turn 4 or whenever you draw it.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair.
So this is for all the marbles. Both of these players are undefeated. Just having complete hot streaks tonight.
Doing what every modern Monday player wishes they could do.
Yep. 4-0ing at Guardian Games.
What a feeling.
What? Yeah, to be alive. To be that alive on a Monday night.
I mean, it takes some people years to do that.
That's true. That is
Why
true.
are you staring at me, Travis?
You recently had a streak of 4-0s, but I think that was
The
you
first
joined
time
you joined the 4-0 club.
Years.
Your favorite deck won the SCG.
Mill?
No, the other one.
Oh,
Breach.
Breach, yes.
Grinder, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Did you all get to see the team get disqualified?
No.
Yeah. No, on camera.
Oh, well, there was controversy. It looked like they cheated, but then they like misrepresented what happened to a judge like on the cell phone stream. and it was some drama. It was entertaining.
That's
it was a
awkward.
great soap opera.
Well, we've needed drama and Magic the Gathering
Yeah.
for quite some time.
Paper
so
Magic has its own level of drama that just doesn't exist with Arena.
thank goodness it's paying off.
All right, final match of the night. Humans mulliganing 2-6.
I think did James Mulligan last game? Did James Mulligan game 1? I thought so.
I think so.
He might have
Yeah.
Mulligan each game. Needs to really work on practicing that shuffling. You know, it's a undervalued skill
Yeah.
that.
Or Phillips is great at
As
cutting.
we talk about cheating as a lead, it's how you bring it full circle.
Yeah, and Phillips' quick keep makes me feel like that doesn't bode well. But I hope we see the Chalice out of the Humans deck. I think that would make for an interesting game.
Yeah, Chalice always a card that makes for an interesting
It
game.
creates a different dynamic on the table when you can't cast any 1-mana spells.
That's
Like,
true.
I don't think Philip has any way to answer a Chalice on 1, right?
Yeah,
I
Like,
think engineered explosives.
Oh,
is
sure,
probably the
sure.
only.
And I think, are we, like, if you're boarding in chalices as James, are you boarding out your own vials?
no. You play your vials to play around your Chalice.
I guess you're boarding out, like, kite sails or something, maybe.
James Captain Kite Sail, clearly.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna see it here. The old table smack. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, all right. We've seen this opener before.
Already playing around.
What's the payoff
Chalice.
card we got? We
We
have.
have Kite Sail, Meddling Mage, and it looks like maybe
Come on, be a chalice, be a chalice.
Dahlia.
Dahlia's Lieutenant.
Oh, it's not a
We have a
chalice.
Ziggurat out, which actually can't cast Chalice.
Oh.
So should have been playing the new land.
We can do it off
With the
camera.
Hierarch.
Whoa.
There's no Chalice.
Just letting the Hierarch live. Philip's got 2 heats in hand.
Ooh, Champion into Meddling Mage into. No, Kite Sail.
Yeah, I like that play much
Okay.
more.
Yeah, that is much better. I forgot that. I forgot it was there.
Yep. Yeah, Philip has to choose right now if he wants to.
Yeah, you do it. You just show your hand and heat the freebooter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not.
That is a slow hand for you, Murktide.
It is. You're gonna be able to
So-
steal the.
Oh my god.
Steal the
champion, though.
champ.
No. You totally just Meddling Mage. James just
Oh.
Meddling Mages the Archmage's charm and just rides that
Yep.
champion.
He's got
to
it, right?
victory.
You can't let him get 3 mana and cast it.
No.
Wow,
Yeah.
the difference is play on the draw here for sure.
Oh, it's huge.
I think it was another land pick. Nope, that was a consider. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna ride that champ to victory if Philip is able to like deploy Murktide, but
Is he able to deploy Murktide? That's the exciting part, though. I mean, if you
in one more turn. With the
Or do
fetch
you
lands.
just? Well, I guess it would depend on what you draw here, but like, if you draw like a Reflector Mage, putting a
That's
champion
what-
back
that's
in your
what was
hand.
drawn. That's
Is it really?
exactly what was
Oh man,
drawn.
then you name
Yeah.
Murktide. You name Murktide all day.
No, I think in that case you name
No.
Archmage's
I'm-
charm.
I
You
agree.
name Murktide. You let him spend 3 mana to steal your champion. You Reflector Mage your own champion back to your
And
hand.
it's tiny though. You got no.
Who
pressure.
cares? You do. You have 3 damage with a Meddling Mage with Exalted every turn, and you can't cast your Murktides block you all day.
I'm on team Ian.
Oh my gosh. Okay, how many? Okay,
Doesn't
let's
matter. It's gone
let's
anyway.
make can we bring up a tally of how many games each of us has played with humans?
0.
Yeah.
How many of you played Travis?
Non-zero, but probably under like 15.
2.5 years of grinding PPTQs.
All right. Well, there
True.
were 2 of us and 1 of you.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because he had an unholy heat, so it's all off the table, and like that champion is getting stolen, and the game is Phillips.
Yeah.
So, he's leaving up the counter magic with a cavern in play.
I think he's maybe
He's
waiting
gonna
for
change
attacks.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
take
waiting
it
for
in
attacks to grab
combat.
it.
Or if James is going to play something else to make it bigger.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, Mantis Rider.
Mantis Rider's good. Maybe you just attack with just the Mantis Rider then, so you get the Exalted trigger. Don't he has Archmage's Charm, just don't mess around with the champion.
Philip is like, don't forget your
Yeah.
trigger.
I want that 4/4.
This
Yeah,
is
love
important.
it, love it. Great play by James.
I mean, very nice for James to have drawn the Mantis Rider, so at least there's the blowout potential is not there for. Oh, I guess it can't happen anyway because after the steal, James would just choose not to attack if it was
Right.
something that was not flying.
It does. I mean, this
Gosh.
is very interesting. Are we going for the steal or the draw at this point? I'm almost. Yeah, we're going for the steal.
Yeah, that's cute.
I
I think
was-
it's game over though, right? Philip plays Murktide. We Reflector Mage the Murktide. Attack for 4, attack for 4, attack for 4.
I mean, that's quite a few turns.
of not drawing a removal spell.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
We've only seen heat, so there's 4 bolts
Lots of
left.
bolts left, yeah. Well, you definitely attack with the champion. It's not doing anything else.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Can't block the second Mantis Rider.
Yeah.
Can't block anything.
I think I'm attacking with champion and then exiling the least amount of instants or sorceries as possible in the graveyard at like 1, so that it's a 4/4, so that you,
I
or
think
maybe
you
even
gotta-
2.
5/5. Yeah, I think you need it to be a 5/5.
Yeah.
Because you need to play. So 5/5 lets you play around nothing.
Lets you play around him not having anything else to pump the Mantis Rider.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And bigger than that lets you play around Athalia's Lieutenant.
Mm-hmm. Or another Hierarch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you got to make it. I think I would make it a 6/6.
I kind of agree with Vinny.
I mean, it's gonna feel really bad when it gets Reflector
It
Mage,
is, but-
I'm almost at just a 4/4.
how big do we make it?
You just want to trade it off for the Mantis Rider?
Yeah, I guess you have a 4/4 on the ground. Yeah. Interestingly, I think Dragon Rage Channeler is a human.
It is.
Yeah, human shaman. So that can trigger that champion up a little bit bigger. Boink. And you can't cast it any spell with that name next turn. All right, big draw from the Murktide side. Show us a removal spell. Show us the Fury you boarded in to kill 2 things.
I haven't seen a Fury at all, right?
No Furies at all. I don't know if Philip's playing them. Yeah.
That is a good play.
Well, Philip with heads up to not shock. That's the thing.
Shouldn't that have put Phil to 1?
Yeah, Philip's at 1.
It's like
all right.
left the counter spell in and got to counter something.
Philip can 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cannot double Murktide.
I think you need to iteration and bolt or something, or you need to hit a bolt.
You need a removal spell and a Murktide, right?
Yeah.
Would do it. Or at least buy you time.
It's a solid curve out from James' side this game.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what Philip does because James is just going to draw a Mantis Rider off the top and like.
Or Reflector Mage, Mantis Rider, would all sort of get that done.
Yeah. Anything to get rid of the champion is how James wins.
The fact that the Noble Hierarch has just made it the entire game is kind of indicative of just how stretched Philip's resources have been.
Yep. Yeah. He did not spend a heat on it on the first turn, right?
Correct.
Oh, maybe the problem is Philip is a mana short of something.
We can
Phil has a dress down in hand. But
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna. I mean,
Takes the flying away from the Mantis Rider.
yeah, but there's just
Why
too
would you not
many-
cast? Oh, because you can't cast the dress down and
Bull Chelsea on 1.
Chalice on 1 with the Hierarch, yeah.
The only way you can cast it with 2 Ancient Ziggurats in play.
That's 1
Yeah,
bolt.
imagine an interesting game where Chalice is resolving on 1. I wonder if someone had said that might be something that might change the dynamic.
Yeah, this really changed the game, Vinny.
It did! Look at what is going on right now!
I mean, you basically gave Philip no outs, but yeah.
You just
Oh,
attack
shoot.
with 2 creatures.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, force his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
What a
was-
night of
yeah.
magic. What a night!
Feelings were had, life totals were changed, champions were made.
Humans made it to 4-0.
Champions were made and stolen.
4-0, baby! thanks everyone for hanging out with us. You can find us on Twitter at Portland_paper. You can do deck requests, flavor of the week requests, whatever you want. Yell at us for all the mistakes we've made. Also check out our videos throughout the week on YouTube. Follow us. And yeah, if you're ever in Portland, come play on Mondays at 7 o'clock. And we'll be here.
Bye.
Adios.